What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy, NA78666, for coming through and boosting up the coin. So, we got Johnny Bash, aka Johnny Bumsh. Nah, I'm joking, man. Listen, I actually like Johnny. I haven't met him, but I mean, I'm just pissed. He bumped my coin. It's not his fault my coins got bumped, but it's the institution of it. He's not the one who made the institution of hype jobs, but still, the institution of hype jobs is the reason I didn't get the maximum payout for the Ben Whittaker fight. He lost that fight, right? We can all agree on that. Liam Cameron punched the head off Ben Whittaker. The Romford bum, the Romford bum as well. He got head punched off, man. 10-1 favourite. So I do like Johnny. It's not his fault. It's not his fault that he got slapped to bits by Dave Allen, and I got bumped my money. I want my money. That's the truth, Dave. I mean, Johnny, send me $100 I was supposed to win, and we'll forget about it. I like Johnny. I do like him. He's a nice lad. He's not an idiot like Ben Whittaker, for example. Ben Whittaker's a proper clown, right? This dude's all right, but he's still got a robbery decision. And today I report that he don't want the rematch. He don't want nothing to do with the rematch. Here we go.
Do you want to run it again? I mean, I know it's quite fresh and early doors, but what's your sort of...
We definitely can. Whether it's, we spoke about this on another interview, whether it's the next one or it's a year's time or 6 months' time, if I have a couple more...
He wants a couple more now. A couple more what? A couple more cabbage to babbage? This is the fight game. And we're going to get to this bit in a second. He says, oh, I don't want to be having hard fights like that. That's what's up there. Yeah, this is Dave Allen. This isn't Martin Bacoli. If you'd have been there with Martin Bacoli, yeah? If Eddie Hearn had got carried away and put you in there with Martin Bacoli, we'd all get you sitting there saying, no, I don't really want hard fights like this every time. I don't really want the rematch. So I'm going to take a step down, have a look, see what's going on. This is Dave Allen, man. This is the start, I'd say. The start of serious boxing. Similar to Liam Cameron, to be honest. These guys are similar levels in their respective weights. To start, I don't call... People can... Oh, this guy's 20-0. I'm 20-0. You have to look at their resume. 20-0 don't mean nothing, as we've been proven. Tommy Fletcher, another one of Mark Tibbs' dudes. He was another 15-0, whatever it was, knockout artist. He gets in there with a solid European Dave Allen, Liam Cameron type and gets punched to bits. He didn't want nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. So in my opinion, you haven't even entered real boxing. You can't even, I don't believe so. You can't consider yourself a real boxer. Especially when you got all the management and promotion on your side. I wouldn't call Ben Whittaker a real boxer at this point. Sorry. You had one test and you flopped it. You flunked it. And the same as Johnny Fisher. Of course, there's journeymen and whatnot. That's what you are now. You're on part of a journey. Because you got to the gates of real boxing with Liam Cameron and Dave Allen. And you got your cherry popped. If Dave Allen pops your cherry and you can't put a dent in him, Dave Allen, people, Johnny Fisher has been in the gym for 4 years straight. He don't work like that. Dave Allen got off the couch, and in 12 weeks, if Dave Allen can get off the couch after doing nothing for 10 years and put you down and pop your cherry, where are you going here? So what Johnny Bash is really saying, he wants to go back to Essex and keep selling arenas against complete stiffers. And it's not his fault. It's the unwashed masses, the unwashed football masses that will go there, yeah, Bash, Bash, Bash. But we know it's not real. That's my beef here. Hype should be earned. It's not his fault that he's got hype, if that makes sense. But it should be earned. And the least you could have done is do half a job on Dave Allen if you had anything there to offer. I'm only 25. It don't matter how old you are. I'm sorry. Most of the time at 25, for example, you've had enough in this game. You sparred Dave Allen 6 years ago. How many more years you need? This is like the AJ. This is the Eddie Hearn playbook. Eddie Hearn gave Johnny the playbook here. Yeah, go and interview Johnny and say about how you're learning still. We heard this with AJ, man. We heard this, man. And yes, AJ's really no different to Johnny Fisher. No chin. Yeah, no cardio. Just a big stiff. He looks the part. That's what Johnny Fisher and AJ are. They look the part. They're big, stiff, lean athletes which sells. Oh, this guy's big and lean. Big and lean does a lot for people, to be fair. If you're big and lean, you're halfway there in Eddie Hearn's mind. No Diddy. So Johnny Barge comes in, big and lean. Urgh. He can't box for toffee, same as AJ. Can't box and can't really dig in. He dug in, but you ain't got no power like that. Look what 60-year-old Ortiz did with Dave Allen. Yeah, and obviously Ortiz is at a high level, but Dave Allen's washed up. Coming off the couch. When Dave Allen entered a serious fight in 5 years. He come off the couch, got in there, and knocked you down. Dave Allen don't knock no one down. So there's no rebuild here. There's no let's go away for a few fights. And just tell the truth. You are a community centre boxer. You might sell more tickets than the community centre, but that's the level you're at. It's like a novelty show. What was that white guy called? Not Tommy Morrison. There was another one. A big bulbous one. There was a big bulbous Donny with a bald head. And he had like a little WWE boxing type shtick. What was his name? It's annoying now, I can't remember it. There was a white guy, bulbous, looking like Andy Ruiz. Bald head. He'd wear the United States boxing trousers. And they pumped him up. But it was more like WWE. He'd sell loads of tickets and they'd say, yeah, this guy, he's really good. That's going to annoy me now. What was his name? Right. Famous fat white boxer. American shorts. Bubba? It's not Bubba. It's not Bubba. This is the one here. It's this one here, man. Shocking. But he had a big following. He had a big following. He was useless. Completely useless. And I had people to this day saying, what was his name? What was his name? Just give me the name, man. It's this cat here. They knew, even the moody Google knew exactly who I'm talking about, this cat here. They built him up to be something. He was useless. Butterbean, that's it. Butterbean. Butterbean was completely useless.
Want to replump your skin in 1 hour? Try L'Oreal
Absolutely no good. And I've had people years ago come along and say, YB, this is like Butterbean this, Butterbean could have done that. Man, a bugging man. He was a WWE show. That's what he was. They built a little cult following and they put him out fighting complete bums. That's the equivalent. Johnny Fisher will be a lean version of Butterbean. That's the kind of hype is. That's the level he's at. He'll be a show where he goes around the country knocking bums out. That's the extent he'll ever be. I'm not trying to write him off, but I just don't see it. It's not like you're 19 or you're 20. You're 25 and you've been doing this spark for 5 years straight, just straight through. If that's how stiff and how goosed you are with Dave Allen, if that's how much your chin holds up against Dave Allen in round 5, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do, really? Yeah? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're not going to do nothing with no one else. Johnny Fisher was talking about, yeah, I'll fight Moses at Talma. You'll do nothing. He'd knock you out in 2 rounds flat, man. If Johnny came running, Dave can't punch. If Johnny came running at Moses at Talma, he'd knock him out in 2 rounds. Seriously. He'd proper hurt him. He'd proper hurt this guy. I like Johnny, but he'd get hurt. Whether I like him or not, he'd still get hurt by a Talma. That's what would happen. What do you think? There's a reason Dave Allen knows the game. That's why I say he's the start of real boxing. People like Liam Cameron, Dave Allen, they're not the top. They're never going to beat Butterbean, but they're actually proper boxers. And Dave Allen said, I know this guy. I don't want nothing to do with a Talma. He's too good. But Johnny, stiff, straight up and down, like AJ, and knock off AJ, I got him. And he did that. He delivered it. Fresh off the couch. Anyway, Johnny Fisher, these bars here are as well what turns me off. Not only the fact that, I don't really want a hard fight. No. Not only, we might do it maybe next, but maybe in a few fights, maybe in a year from now. Come on.
I'm not in a bit saying that I'm the finished article. You know I'm not like that. And they definitely can. I know it's a year's time or 6 months' time if I have a couple more. I'm not in the business of bravado and saying that I'm the finished article. You know I'm not like that, and Dave's not like that either. I've probably learned a bit from him and how I carry myself, if I'm being honest. And listen, I've got a lot to learn in this game. I'm 25 years old, and a performance like that.
Come on, man. Don't give it. I told you, I don't want to hear the AJ bars. I don't want to hear the Eddie Hearn script. I'm 25. We heard that from AJ. He was learning. And oops, he didn't go nowhere. You are where you are by the time you're 25, name me a fighter who was about 25 and hadn't, more or less. You can tighten things up, but more or less, you're where you are at that point. Once you've committed 4 years to the game and that's all you're doing for a living, you know who you are at that point. When you're day in, day out for 4 years straight, you've got your base there. That's more or less where you're at. And if Dave Allen's putting you down, you've got no hope in the heavyweight game if you can't handle Dave Allen power.
I've proven a bit about myself to people, but do I want to have wars like that every single day, every single time I fight? No, I want to be better.
Here we go.
And better each time, and it is a fight that can happen.
I don't want to have wars all the time. We heard that with AJ after the Vlad fight. This was a hard fight. To be fair, AJ was fighting Vlad. This is the game. And this is why I bet on Dave Allen. A lot of these new age cats here, I don't know what it is. I've heard, I'm not sure Mark Tibbs does this, but I've heard a lot of these guys, they're like protected in sparring. They only put you in there with guys you know you're going to win to pump your ego up, which is dangerous ultimately. You have to be humble in the game. Unless you're that good where you can't get no work from no one because you're a god of boxing. You need to know what it feels to be in there and be like, oh damn, I'm getting punched up. Because guess what? That may happen in a real fight. And you don't want to be that guy who knocked everyone out in sparring and then you end up in a real fight with 10-ounce gloves on, no head guard. And you're like, oh, this is new. And there's got to be an underlying reason here why all these big hype jobs get in under the lights against someone half alive and they fall apart, get knocked down or jump out of the ring. And then after the fight say, well, I don't want hard fights like that. This wasn't, Johnny, to be fair, this wasn't a hard fight like that. Yeah, this wasn't a hard fight like that. It wasn't that hard, if that makes sense. You weren't in there with Martin Imard Bacoli. That would be a hard fight for you. Or Daniel Dubois. Or any of the top guys. This was Dave Allen, who's never been known as a puncher. Dave Allen went 4 rounds with a complete stiff. Couldn't hurt that stiff. Albeit, as it happens, that was a seasoned stiff. These seasoned stiffs, yeah, they know what it's like to be in there. These seasoned B-sides, like Liam Cameron, they know what it's like to be in there and outmatched. It creates resilience. They know what it's like to be in there getting whacked by the A-side. Johnny's never felt that. All he's had to do is get in there with a shot to bits cruiserweight. He'd probably make 175. Alan Babich, if he was lean, would make 175. You got in there with a light heavyweight, shot to bits, leaky deaky. Oh, guess what? Johnny wasn't saying, oh, I don't like bowling people over in a round. But now he's had a half decent fight. I wouldn't call it I honestly wouldn't. I wouldn't call it a hard fight. He made it hard. It wasn't actually a hard fight. It was a standard fight. From the 80s and 90s, that fight there would be boring. That's the truth. People would be booing at that fight from the 80s and 90s. This was a solid standard fight in my book. You weren't saying this after Babich. You weren't saying, well, I don't want no more of them knockouts after 1 round against a cabbage. He was like, yeah, bosh. And that's my problem here. It's a mindset issue. These guys have one tough fight. AJ with Vlad. His whole career knocking bums out. One tough fight. Oh, I don't like being here. I don't really like this one. I need to learn more so I don't get hit. No. This is, unfortunately, people, what I've learned from studying the game as such, from the 80s and 90s, them man, they had skills, but they got hit. Yeah? You take any one of Holyfield's fights, he got punished more than Dave Allen punished Johnny Fisher. Fact. And even in the fights he was winning, them man took big shots. It's part and parcel. They looked forward to it. I don't know what it was going in their mind, but maybe not look forward to it, but they accepted, this is what I'm doing. It's a bit like, I don't know, it's a bit like a plumber dealing with plumbing. He might not like the fact he has to deal with pipes and water, but he deals with pipes and water. You might not like the fact you get a hit upside your head, but that's the game you're in. I don't believe you ever saw Holyfield before he was completely shot, at least, or anyway, in the middle of his career, in the solid part of Holyfield's career, you never saw him like, oh, that was a hard fight, and I don't want hard fights. These men didn't have them bars. I never heard no old school guy say, oh, I remember people before the Ali fight was telling him, before Ali versus Foreman, they were saying, don't get in there, he's going to do you some serious harm. Ali revelled in that. These new age guys have one average standard British level type challenge. I don't want to be having hard fights out anymore. I want Eddie Hearn to take me back to Bromley Leisure Centre so I can knock some more cabbages out. Cabbage to Babbage. It's embarrassing, man. I like Johnny, but I'm convinced now this is the mindset. When you have a mindset like AJ after Vlad, I didn't like that one. You're going nowhere in this game. Yeah. You need to be saying, Bash. My name is Johnny Bash. And Dave Allen, you are getting it. Yeah. I got your number now. I felt it now. You caught me slipping. I got you now. I'm coming in there. I'm negotiating the first 4 rounds and I'm putting it on you. You have to build from it and go straight back in there, in my opinion. The minute you take a step back, what do you want to do? Pump yourself with fake confidence. Oh, let me have a few more build-up fights against complete stiffs, Dave. And then hopefully you'll get lazier because you won't have no opportunities. And I'll be able to... And next time, you best believe, next time, Eddie Hearn will give Dave Allen 2 weeks' notice. That said, it's on Dave Allen to stay ready. Be expecting that. Be expecting that, Dave Allen. Same as Liam Cameron. Be expecting Ben Whittaker to give you 3 weeks' notice. Don't be shocked. Yeah, that's their play. They're hoping you go back on the couch and just sit around or bowl a bus. Because this ain't... I like Johnny Fisher, but this ain't a man who's got that spirit. In his first decent fight, he don't want no more. If you don't want no more of Dave Allen, I'm telling you now, Johnny Fisher, at the top level, there's no easier fight than Dave Allen, if that makes sense. Slow, uncommitted, doesn't train year round, washed up arguably. There's no, what you can do? There's no skills Dave Allen, there's no skills Johnny Fisher could learn. Between now and 30 or 35, there's no skills Johnny Fisher can learn that's going to enable him to be that good that he can just go, what do you think you can do, Johnny Fisher? Go in there and bowl everyone out? Is that what you think? He must think that. To say I don't want to have another hard fight like that again, you think you're going to learn, Mark Tibbs going to teach you some magic and you can just go in there, never get hit and just knock everyone out? It's delusional. That's what AJ thought. That's what these new age guys think. These new age guys think the game's about never being hit and just bowling everyone over. And if they can't do that, they throw their toys out the pram. Oh, I don't want to be in hard fights anymore. And Johnny Fisher didn't give up. He's not like Ben Whittaker completely, but there's something missing there for me. He's not... Well, I'm not feeling how he's feeling. Obviously, he's bust up. We know that for a fact. He's bust up bad. There's no doubt about that. But still, bust up bad and... You've got to be looking forward to the next one. You've got to be looking to do more positively in the next one. It's inevitably going to come. Unless you just fight complete bums, inevitably you're going to be in a position where you're in a Dave Allen situation, or worse, right? Or worse. Could be a lot worse for you. Dave Allen's the start of where things go left for the new age fighters. That's the entry levels to the new age, to the old school. Sorry. What you can do when you're in there with? You'll never be in there with Dubois, but you get the point. Imagine someone who can actually punch and who's athletic and who's bigger than you. You was bigger than Dave. Dave's slow, out of shape. If you can't finish your dinner with that one, and then you're worried about getting hit again, didn't like that. You ain't gonna lock nothing else up there. So go back to Bromley and punch some more bums up. That's what he must be looking for. He said it himself. Oh, I want to punch some more bums up for a year. Let's have a go on some more bums. Oh, well done. Well done. What do you want a medal for that? I'm sorry. As much as a nice guy you might be, that's a corny mentality, man. And yeah, I've never been punched up, but I'd be honest. Yeah, there's nothing about learning. If I got punched up here and didn't want to happen again, I'd say, listen, people, I like knocking bums out. Is the truth. I didn't like getting hit back, so I want to fight more bums. Don't pitch it on the basis that, I just want to learn more skills and I need a few more fights to learn some more. No, you want to punch bums up and be the big I am. Even though he's not arrogant, but he wants to be like, I bowled him over and no one can touch me. Because the minute someone touched you, you didn't really want to know. And you was on stilts. So, he's finished. Another hype job bites the dust. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this one, people. Stop it.